Okay. For anyone who just joined, give me a couple minutes, okay? I will begin with recapitulate on you guys' work last week. Okay. I will share the QR code regarding attendance in a bit. This is from group 1. So they decided to work on communication device. Each of them find the pictures. So we can see like pigeon, telephone with different type, and the walkie-talkie, typewriter, iPad, and computer. Okay. So they identify that pattern as manual era communication, early technological communication, and modern digital communication. And we can see that they have different picture represent each pattern, which help them to identify the common and the change within the pattern. With that, they analyzed the common thing within their pattern. So they said no electricity, use paper, yeah, US mail. Okay. Contain some delay, of course, could be possible. Use labor to deliver message. Okay, so that's really clear. Change within the pattern. So they mention the transition from primitive communication, like use human or pigeon, such as carrier pigeon, to early technology mediums. Involve innovation like written language, allowing for detailed widespread of information like telephone, landline, and so on. But this one actually haven't include telephone yet, but they mention it as for the future. Okay. I will not dig deep in each detail, but I just want you guys on to see on their work. Okay. And here, the table of combination, right? They mention from pattern A to B, which is this one to this one. They mention that humans make it more secure, efficient, and faster by reducing the time for sending letters to use the mobile signal in the device instead of postman and labor, because the invention of radio waves and electronic chips, okay, in computer or in the telephone, right? So in my opinion, their work is clear and concise, okay? And they try to highlight in red on the part of emphasis or the part of distinction, okay? For the green one is the new thing that add on, right? This one instant communication, this one is lightweight design. Okay, used to be the phone is so big, right? And heavy. Okay. And then that group team member. So thank you very much, guys. Then for the group 2, similarly, they begin with the word. For them, they pick only phone because they thought phone as a communication tools. Okay. So with that, their team member find the photos of phones. And then they identify pattern as stationary based. Okay. Communication limited by the length of cable. Then the second one is the rotary numeric keypad was introduced. So you can see this one. Then, I'm sorry, it should be this one. Known as mobile technology. Okay, this can movable with us, right? Communicate didn't be limited anymore. We can talk freely across the world side. And then the latest technology and updated model design. Internet accessible, can be used more utility than the past version, like bank application, right? And then they analyze on the common things within the same pattern. They mentioned it is the first model of telephone. Then they identify the common things within the pattern, like use paper, use It is two-way communication. Allow user to speak and listen during a conversation at stations or big place. So this is how they see this pattern as in common. Okay, for the change within the pattern, need an operator to communicate between channel, wire communication. And for the second pattern, they mentioned that the common is designed for household appliance and becoming easier to use. If you compare, right? If you see the second pattern is like every house could have it. Okay. The change within pattern, they mentioned that they within this pattern, they improve handle design, okay, enhance communication, introduce rotary dial. At first, it doesn't have rotary dial, right? Yeah. Continue wire communication. Last one, then I think I will skip this part, but you can see their detailed explanation on the common and the change within patterns, okay? And factor creating new pattern from this team from A to B, right? They mentioned that in pattern A, we connect and communicate in the range of cable, but pattern B technology show us that we can communicate by radio wave, which is increased range of humanity communication, okay? And so on, okay? Since they have 4 pattern, right? A, B, C, D. So they have this pattern C to pattern D explanation as well. These are the group member. So thank you guys. Last group. This team, they select the topic and they select communication device as well. So each of member find a picture and they identify as prehistoric communication device, transitional communication device, and modern communication device. Okay. So for the common, they mentioned it is straightforward and hand-on ways to send message across distance. Change within pattern, they analyze as from basic local and hand-on method to fancier, worldwide, and more abstract. Could be like, can I say this one worldwide? But I can say that this one abstract is a little bit challenge to understand the information on their work. And this one they mentioned it is transition from slow response time to quicker response time. If it like Morse one and then the telephone, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's example from their work. And for the factor, creating new pattern, they mentioned from pattern A to pattern B. In ancient time, individuals use basic communication device as smoke signal and drum. Then the era shift occur when the electric communication device were first introduced in 18th century. And the group member, thank you guys. So that's the recapitulation on your guys' work last week. Right now, I will pause here first. Okay, so just to recapitulate once again, since today we can have a group of 2 to 3 people, which is smaller than last week. I would like to emphasize that when you decided on the topic, but this week I give you guys a big topic, okay? So once you get the topic, then you find a picture of representative, right? But try not to find the same picture, right? With that, you can categorize it into patterns, right? You identify pattern, what is the pattern? And then you could analyze on the common and recurring characteristic within the pattern. Okay, within the same pattern, what are the common thing, right? And then you put here, and then specify the not the of the pattern. It's like the change within the patterns. Okay, within the same pattern, what are the change? Okay, this one you can use foot. This one you can use your hand, or you could use different detergent or chemical that you use for washing. And last one is the factor creating new pattern. What could be the potential factor creating the new pattern? Okay, so I would like to emphasize here. Okay. Identify local of change. Okay, some of you may have seen this S-curve before, some of you may not. It's fine. One thing I would like to emphasize is that whenever you plot the graph or whenever you see the graph, make sure you have this y-axis and x-axis, okay? And if there are units, you could put unit to it as well, okay? This y-axis is performance. Okay, this is the S-curve of technology. Okay, this is the S-curve here. Technology could have limitation. Once its limitation is like here. Okay, and x-axis here, in my opinion, is not clear. They mentioned that it is the perseverance. In my opinion, it's difficult to measure perseverance. I prefer like time or something that measurable. Okay. Once we reach the limit of technology, we could develop or we could innovate another technology. Once we have done that, we will have the second S-curve. And you can see that the limitation is higher in the performance of the second technology is higher than the first one, but it's not always like that. Okay, it depends on research and development as well. Okay, the second S-curve is related to business and product. The y-axis is the, what do you call, the market, ยอดขาย anyone know the word in English? ยอดขาย it's like how much you can sell it. Okay, usually the unit is money. Okay, like baht, like dollars. Okay, and the x-axis is time. Okay, this one is like at the beginning, and then the growth period, and then the plateau, or like more reaching the limitation, and it could be lower as well. Okay, unless you have a new business model or business plan or promotion. Okay, so this is the S-curve. In addition to these two curves, we could use it in research and development project as well. When I work as a researcher, the research team will need to plan on the S-curve. Okay, this is our beginning part. Okay, we did the literature review, and then we did some experiment in order to understand the factor regarding the experiment. Okay, so we need to propose our S-curve, and it could be changed. We could update it as well. Okay, the definition. Okay, it is the concept used to describe the development, change, and adoption of new technology, like this one. Like disruptive innovation that emerge to improve existing products and disrupt old behaviors. This one, we provide the example of Kodak film. Okay, the film camera using the Kodak film. A once flourishing company which was eventually replaced by the digital technology wave. It's fascinating to see how this giant company, once well known, fell from the memory of new generation. So some people doesn't know about it. In this era, people may not know Kodak. Instead, they get to know other famous brand of digital camera instead, like Canon, and other like GoPro, right? Okay. but still some people use it. I see some people still use film camera. The regarding industrial revolution, okay, the first one we shift from relying on human and animal labor to steam engine. I remember I went to Old Town in Detroit. They have the steam engine train, like driving around their area. The second industrial revolution, marking a transition from coal power to electric power, gas, and oil. This is the introduction of the electric system and belt operation in like industry, lead to unprecedented mass production capability. After that, the third industrial revolution, the widespread use of electricity, lead to development of electrical system and electronic device. A pivotal moment during this era was the birth of computer. If I remember correctly, I have seen like documentary regarding using computer, like the early one for like booking the flight or something like that. Okay, let's see. I will check. One moment. I will check in for you just join, okay? You could type in the chat for me just in case just remind me, okay? And let's see, the fourth industrial revolution is we try to increase productivity, so we could manufacture things that have the proper size, okay, and increase the speed, okay. And the reason that we could have done that, one of it is that because we now have a internet, okay, we have connect the world like we never have before, okay. For our country, Thailand, right, we also have this evolution as well. The big picture of it, right? Usually Thai people work as work as a farmer, and we have many agricultural area and people who work in the agricultural. For the second evolution, we have light industry, such as sewing. Okay, we still have low wage for this kind of industry, but we do have like minimum wage for them as well. For the next evolution for Thailand is the heavy industry, advanced machinery. For example, we have like big food company, right, such as Tofu Sang, the soy milk brand, Betagro, right, the meat or egg brand, right? Paper company like Double A, SCG, right? Petroleum company, right? Battery, GPSC. Okay. And we still in like Thailand 4.0. We include creativity, innovation, and smart Thailand. Okay. So we in this region, or not region, duration, time period, I would say. Okay. This is a big picture for our world. Okay, the industrial revolution is a transformative force that impacts every aspect of daily life in some capacity throughout history. Our world have experienced numerous significant changes as a result of this revolution, shaping various aspects of society. not only society, but including economic, technology, and culture as well. Because the food, right? The food could be one of the culture. When we have different kind of like type of food. This profound change have collectively contribute to the evolution of our modern world. From mechanization, steam and water power, to mass production, electricity, to automation, computers and electronics, cyber, physical system. And for the electronic, I give you an analogy. Used to be our hard disk drive. It's really big, right? But then it can become smaller and smaller due to the technology and research and development of people working on that field. Okay, can be able to use the technology to make it smaller and cheaper as well. And nowadays we have cyber physical system and mass customization. So now we can customize, okay, cognitive system, okay. This is the additional slide from last week, which is like a summary. Okay, I will explain here so that you guys understand. Okay, so this one, this slide is a diagram show the cause of change. Okay, as its name, this part, the thunderstorm part here, is the cause of change, which is the from the table. It is the factor of change, right, on the right, from A to B. I will go slow here, okay, so that everyone understand on the same page. And for pattern A, we pick just one picture that represent pattern A, and then this is the identification of pattern A. What is it? Okay. The reason I explain here because the work today, group of 2 to 3, I will ask you guys to do this slide as well. Okay. If any one of you would like me to explain in Thai, you can let me know too. Okay. But here I will just keep going on in English. Okay. And let's see. So we have been practice on making decision on the topic that we would like to study and analyze on the common thing within the same pattern, analyze the change within the same pattern, and also research a little bit on the cause of changing from pattern A to pattern B and B to C. Okay. Okay. For our activity today, I will ask you guys to work in a group of 2 to 3 people. If anyone doesn't have group yet, please type in the chat box, okay, so that you can ask your classmate whether you could work with them, okay, or you could type in the Line group as well. And let's see, I will have the topic for you guys here, and I will make the breakout room for you guys, okay, and you guys could create your group Canva by yourself, okay. I will send the PowerPoint of this assignment in the Line group in a bit, okay. I will see whether after approximately 90 minutes how you guys are doing, and I will like be providing feedback if you need me along the time as well. And I will see whether any group would like to present their work if we have enough time. Okay. Anything else? Let me see. This is the topic for today activity. Okay. So it is about news. Okay, so every group gonna use the same topic, but you're gonna analyze by your team. Okay. Providing a bit more information regarding the news. Okay. The definition, it is a system or channel that provides news and information to the public or consumers. Within this scope, information is communicated using various media. The presentation of information can take various forms, such as like newspaper, articles, reports, photographs, videos, and other, whether through traditional or digital media. Traditional, such as like newspaper, right? Or even news by speaking. And this is the template. Okay, the first one is to put pattern. This one, every group gonna be the same. News. Okay, and then this is the table. The additional column compared to last week is this part. The time, the pattern emerge. You could provide some reference time, such as like year of having newspaper, for example. Okay, you could provide reference later of where you get that year from. Okay. Other than that, is similar table of what you have been practiced last week. Okay, this one is the picture of pattern A. Identify the pattern. Okay, and then the common thing within the same pattern, the change within the same pattern, which is pattern A. Okay. Maybe internet connection of your classmates is not good. Okay, I see some people like disconnect. And the factor that create a new pattern, okay, like from A to B, B to C. And then that will be all for the activity of 2 to 3 people. I will let you guys work on it first, and then we will come back to the main room and I will explain the after you finish, not finish, this work is submitted by 11 p.m. today, 23rd. Yes. Okay, we are group A, inter A. So submit by 11 p.m. So it means that you doesn't have to like finish it by the class time. But if you finish it by the class time, that's great. But if not, you still have time to work on it. Okay. So that's the explanation on activity for your practice today. I will make a breakout room for you guys, but you guys need to let me know your team member. You could type your team member in the chat box, and you could type we will be room 1 or like group 1, something like that, so that when I create the breakout room and I let you guys choose the room by yourself, you will not get into the same room, like, okay, group 1 member, group 2 member, group 3 member, like just type like this, okay, in the chat box. We probably have like 16 group. Okay, I suggest you guys type send to everyone, and then you type group number 1. Okay, so everyone know that group number 1 is already taken.
Okay. How many member in this group?
We have 35, but I'm not sure that we are all signed in, but like one account per one person. It could be some people sit together and they are in the same account.
So is two or three member in one group or five or
Oh,
six?
2 or 3. Yeah, 2 or 3. Thank you. Yeah, I misunderstood.
Okay, thank you.
I will stop share screen for now, but I will send my slide to you guys right now. Give me one moment.